Hey guys, welcome back to Shadow Creek Ranch. It's December 8th today. It's been a little while since I've posted a video. Just, busy working. And, obviously the last several videos, the main focus has been the house. And that's, that's the money project. That's where most of the time and the money is going to, for sure. But it's not the only thing we got going on here. As I mentioned in previous videos, we have big ass winter storms here, high winds, usually about 4 or 5 a year according to our neighbors. We certainly experienced, I think, 3 or 4 last year. We've already had 2 this year, and they were big. The first one especially brought down, I think, at least 2 dozen trees on the property, including big maples, like one maple that was like 130 feet tall, 18 inches in diameter, and snapped it like a twig. So pretty scary stuff. I'm really glad I took down the big trees around the house when I did, because I think we'd be pretty terrified about them coming down on the house. But that's neither here nor there. I'll show you a few clips from one of the storms that I did take some video. One of the other things we got going on here, this is an area I showed you 2 or 3 videos ago in the summer. We call it the Plateau. It was very pretty, had a lot of wildflowers and things, but it was also a bit of a shit show, ankle breaker, tall thorny grass and brush that the bear could hide in. Heather would come down here sometimes walking the dog, and she could smell that the bear was in the area. You just get a bit of a smell, and the bear's nearby, and he could have been lying there in the tall brush and we wouldn't even see him. So we decided to deal with it this year rather than put it off. And so I built this sort of little causeway bridge here again, my usual trick, rocks and gravel and stuff like that, and a culvert. And then we leveled it off, and mostly it's been Heather's baby. This is her thing. Like I said in one of the previous videos, eventually we want to have some horses graze here, maybe some apple trees. But in the meantime, we've dealt with it. We've leveled it off. We've planted what's called a cover crop, which is just the winter rye, is all the green stuff. And that's going to help keep weeds and stuff from coming up in the spring. And then that's our garlic plot there. And that is 800 cloves of garlic that will yield us 800 bulbs of garlic next summer, which will yield us 8 times 6, 4,800, probably about 4,000, 4,500 cloves of garlic to plant next year. So anyhow, that's some of the other work we've been doing around here, and it's good to get that one done and out of the way. And so now I'll take you up and show you what's been going on up at the house. Cheers. Ta-da! So this is where we're at today. Lots has been done since the last video. I'll show you a flashback of some of that work being done. But this is where we're at, all stained and windows in. Huge shout out to Scott. There's no way I could have done the big windows without his help. And so yeah, we're locked up. All the exterior doors are in, windows in, gutters on. So that's a huge thing. Plumbing, actually today is the day I wrap up the rough-in plumbing. That's been 2 weeks of very challenging work because of the whole main floor being supported by these giant LVL engineered beams that I showed you in one of the very first videos. You can't notch those, you can't drill those, so you have to kind of work around them, and that's been challenging to do. 3 bathrooms, a kitchen, a laundry, 3 toilets, everything to work around those beams and the logs. Very challenging stuff, but at least that's done, and I'm on to the electrical as well. So hopefully in about 7 or 8 days, get electrical inspection completed, plumbing inspection completed, and on to installation. So yeah, there we go. Check it out. Looking really, really good.
So I don't know if you can hear me or not, but Heather and I have had to put all our other little projects aside right now and all the various things we got going on and focus 100% on the grinding of the logs. The weather's going to turn cold later next week, too cold to stain, and we need to get the staining done, at least on the outside, and we want to get all the grinding done on the inside before the windows come, because that dust will be a nightmare. I mean, it's clouds and garbage bags of soft powdery dust It took me, just to give you an idea, it took me 3 days to grind this back section here. That section Heather did already back there. It took me 3 days to do this section and move the scaffold and go up a level and then go along and go up a level. Brutally hard work. It's hard on the back, it's hard on the arms, but we figure we got a couple more days on the inside, and then all the grinding is done, and then it was probably going to take us honestly a whole day just to clean the dust from everywhere, sweep it, vacuum it, get it all like clean, and then we can stain the logs inside and out before the windows come. And that's the plan. This is me after just 5 minutes of grinding. Check out the dust. Brutal stuff.
We may never meet, and you may live across the sea, and you may be just in my dreams. You may even not exist, but you're the only one I only one I only one I ever, 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 ever miss. Ever, ever miss.
Hey babe,
Hi.
how's it going?
Well, pretty good.
Yeah, so what have you been working on here?
Well, I'm standing right now where there was a huge pile of debris from the beaver dams that had to be removed. So I burned all that, and now I've made my way down and found the creek. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's nice.
The beavers definitely taken down dozens and dozens of trees here before we moved on the property. So it's a big mess, but it's gonna be good.
And what about all this behind you?
Well, this used to be just nothing but solid brambles, and I cleared them all out, cleared them and burned them. That's my job.
Nice.
You build the house, I make the property beautiful.
What a team.
What a team, right?
What a team. Keep up the work, babe.
Thank you.
One of the biggest challenges to building your own home is you really have to be thinking 4 and 5 steps ahead at any given moment. And in this particular case, I'm talking about these parallelogram windows that are up here. They may not look it here on video, but they are huge and heavy, and they're way up there. And I need to get the trim installed, painted, all the soffit up there done before I remove my scaffold, which is built through the bedroom windows on the left and right hand side. Because it will be almost impossible to get up there to do the work once I take the scaffold down. So I spent 2 days cutting trim to go around those windows. Very difficult cutting it around the logs at the top, pre-painting it 2 coats. So I'm going to install that now. The soffit's installed, and then once that's all done, I don't really have to go up there again, and I can remove the scaffold and install the bedroom windows on the left and right hand side. Always thinking ahead. There's always excitement going on here on the homestead. I don't know if you can hear, but It's our first big windstorm of the fall, and I'm really watching overhead here. We've got some 100-kilometer-an-hour gusts going on. This giant maple branch broke off of the tree up here. I'm gonna guess the branch probably weighs about 600 or 700 pounds. It's a widowmaker for sure. Miracle though, this is our, under the tarp here is my black utility trailer, and then we have this little mini kind of, I don't know, tarp tent we use for storing some extra stuff. It missed that, although the branch was actually directly above that, and didn't crush that. And our log splitter, we've got a hydraulic log splitter under the blue tarp here, missed that as well and landed directly between the two. So we're counting our blessings. So it's been about 24 hours since the storm from hell hit yesterday. It was like Armageddon, man, seriously. It was scary shit. Had it been nighttime like some of the storms we had last winter, I think terrifying would not be too strong a word. Big trees came down. I mean, we did our damage assessment today. There's at least 24 trees down on the property. Now, when you have like literally thousands of trees, it's not the end of the world by far, but I mean some big trees came down. Take a look at this branch behind me. This is not a tree. This is about a 30-foot maple branch, around 8 inches in diameter back there. And we've actually already trimmed it off and cleaned up all the other branches that were on it. It's a huge, several 100-pound branch that came off of one of these big maples up here in the wind yesterday. Have a look at this behind me here. I'm going to take you over to the culvert bridge here. This branch sticking out of the ground, this is why you don't walk around in the forest when there is a storm like that, man. This is not a tree growing out of the ground. This is a branch that's about 2 feet impaled into the ground. That's dangerous shit like that. And well, of course that other big one too is dangerous shit. Either one of them would have killed you. So you don't want to be walking around here in the forest. This is a maple. It's about 24 inches in diameter down at the base. You don't really get the sense of scale here, but yesterday it was about 100 feet tall. Today it's about 30 feet tall. Look at that split there. It was like it was cleaved off, like a giant hatchet had just cleaved it off. Wow, that is something else. We heard the crack yesterday, and it was loud from 400 or 500 feet away where our trailer is. It must have been something else to be here to see that come down. I stuck a beer can on the piece on the ground here just to give you a sense of scale. This is something else. It goes off about another 70 feet or so into the forest there. We're gonna have some nice maple firewood for next winter, but yeah, that just gives you a real sense of how strong the winds were yesterday. Scary stuff.